So I need to change out these chicks from this dirtier brooder into a clean one, and I figured that I would go through them, and I always like to do a little inspection of each chick every time I switch them over. It's also a good time to see if I can tell if it's a boy or girl or not. And some of them I'm pretty sure about, some of them it's just a kind of a wild guess at this point. Different breeds, some are purebred, some are mixes. I'll leave a few seconds before I say if I think it's a male or female so that you can form your thoughts and see if we agree. I'll start off with an easy one. And one thing, another clue is just looking at the ones that are, it is true, it's sort of a gender stereotype, I suppose, but it is true in this case that males are more generally inquisitive, curious, brave. The females tend to hang back a little bit. Not all the time, but often. All right. Well, this is an easy one to start off with. This is some sort of mix. I honestly don't know what it is. Oh, here you go. Definitely one of my, two of my yellow-breeded chicks, or yellow-legged breeds, made this baby. What do you think it is? Boy or girl? It's boy. It's got pretty thick legs, and the comb, I don't know if you can see it on this camera, but it is already starting to turn pink a little bit. It's nice and thick. It's pretty consistently wide the whole way through. You can sort of see even maybe 3 little pea-comb lines there. I don't know what you are. That's an interesting one. I'll have to put some thought into that. Pretty though. Unfortunately, since you're a boy, I really can't do much with you. But all right, you can go in the little clean brooder. All right, another one here. This is a little older in terms of, all of these are about maybe 3 to 4 weeks. It is a little older, that's why it's bigger, but it's also bigger because it is probably a male. Thick legs. Oh, hi. You can't see it, but this one just jumped. It didn't like being alone, so it jumped back. The comb is already starting to develop. It's sort of orangish right now. It's not really pink. There's a little bit of pink, but I wouldn't call it. If there weren't other clues, it would still be sort of, oh, it's a color where it might still be a female. But just with the other clues, how big and solid this guy is, not very delicate at all. Big fat legs. Yeah, he's a little fella. All right, you go in and you come back here and go with your friends. Okay. What do you think about this one? This one, I'm guessing, is a female. And another thing I do, by the way, is I check their leg bands. And this one, I think, is about ready to get another size up on the leg bands. So I'm going to switch. Oh, it's okay, baby. I'll switch that over after this. Got to make sure that you, I mark them with rubber bands, and you got to make sure that you change them in size, or if you use zip ties or whatever, just because they can cut into the leg, they could even lose a leg that way. But I do think this is a female. It's still large, same breed as the other, black copper Mayans, but not quite as big, a little smaller. The comb, in fact, let me get this other one here. Come here. Oh, I know, baby. Oh. Come here, big guy. All right, I don't see you then. Okay, so you can see. Oh, it's okay. I can feel it in my hand. It might not translate as well to the screen. But this guy is bigger. Comb, and they are about the same age. They probably are the same age. His comb, a little taller. And it's a little more pink. You can even see that too. Making a little more orange. The feet, Morans still tend to have, oh, I know, sweethearts. I know. It's okay. You're fine. They tend to have big legs in general. These are big birds. But the boys is thicker. It is thicker. It is a little longer. There you go, babies. Okay, babies. You're so cute. Alright. You know the breed? Any guesses on the breed? It's not, I was surprised how many people weren't familiar with this breed, which is too bad because it is a gorgeous breed. They're white egg layers. It's an Appenzeller Spitzhauben, and they have the little crest. They're more like mohawks. It's a crested gene, but they more look like mohawks when they grow out, which is good because it doesn't impede their vision as much as the full-blown crest. And they grow up to be white birds with beautiful black spots all over their bodies. And they have V crests as well, which is really interesting. It's not something you see a lot. They have this sort of interesting nose shape that goes along with the V crest. And I don't know how well, you have to excuse my phone camera. It does not focus all that well. I don't know why. I just started doing that. I can't tell on the sex for this one yet. They are overall a more, they tend to be a more flighty breed. So you can't always, oh, it's okay, sweetheart, it's okay. You can't always go off of flightiness to tell male or females, because the males can be sort of flighty too. But I've had some very friendly ones as well. Yes, I do think if I were to have to just guess, just make a, life or death guess, I would say female on this one. This one too, I also think is a female. It's got skinnier legs. Should have the interesting nasal structure there that will turn into a V comb eventually. Some part of it's hidden by it kind of goes up into the crest. But these two have been more timid, and I do think this is a female. We'll see. Hope I'm right though. Hey babies. Hi. We won't do everybody today, I think. This little cute one is a Silky Frizzle mix. The Frizzle, I'm not sure what breed it is. Frizzle is not a breed. It's a type of feather structure. And with the Frizzle gene, you want each Frizzle to only have one copy of the gene. It is dominant. 2 copies can give you just a disaster nightmare of a feather. The feathers are missing, they're damaged, they're just a mess. So you never want to breed frizzled to frizzled. But because you breed frizzled to non-frizzled, that means each chick has only a 50-50 chance of getting frizzled, getting the Frizzle gene. And this is one that did not get the Frizzle gene. It was mated to a Silky. The mama had yellow legs. Yellow legs are recessive. It's got the nice dark, it got a fibro skin gene from its parent, the Silky. It's got that extra toe there you can see from Daddy Silky. Got the beard and the crest. But unfortunately did not get the Frizzle gene. Oh, and the mama was also a dominant white, so she inherited this one boy or girl inherited the white from the mama. I'm not sure what, that comb is sort of strange. The mama was a single comb. Still should give the walnut comb here. Right, baby? I don't know. I think maybe female. Just, if I were just gonna throw out a guess. But we'll have to wait and see on this one. Oh, let's see. Oh, come here, baby. This one is part of my Milfoil Marantz project. I really hope this is a female. I think it is, and she's growing some nice coloring. She's finally getting some chest coloring in, which is really good. I'm not seeing any modeling though, which is unfortunate because I really need the models to come out for the project. So if she doesn't have modeling, I won't use her. Oh, and I do think it's a female, by the way. Sorry, I just jumped right into that. She does have sort of yellowish legs, which is not what I want from Marantz, so I probably wouldn't breed that for it anyway. It may change as she gets older. She may only have 1 copy of the yellow gene, but even then. So unfortunately, I couldn't hit the jackpot, I suppose, with this little girl, but she's still a cutie, and I'll keep her to make some cute eggs. Oh, hi, you go back in here. There's one jumping out of the new bin over here. La 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 la. Ooh, come here. Blue Silver Marantz. What do you think it is? Now see, this is where a lot of people would say, and a lot of the people that say, oh, you can sex by feathers, you can wing sex, and they'll say, oh, this is definitely a male because males feather out more slowly. This is a case where that's not always true. There's a higher probability of that, yes, because of genetics, but very much not 100%, because I'm pretty sure this is a female. Small comb, smaller legs, but has a slow feathering gene that is common in a lot of my silver Morans, that allows the females to feather out just as slowly or even more slowly than the males. So I think this is the female. Hey, another escapee from the brooder. Go back in there, little girl. Okay. This poor baby did not hatch out very well. I believe it's going to be modeled. We'll see. The chick down pattern is correct for that. Whether it's a female or male at this point, I can't say. Well, actually, I'm going to guess male, and there is another reason why I think male. I mean, if I were to look at the comb, I'd sort of think male. But this one, honestly, I didn't even expect it to live. It had a hard time hatching out. I won't use this as a breeder, by the way. It also was partly my fault. I think the egg that I hatched was a little bit, or that I set was a little too small. Well, it's known as a pullet egg. I was hoping it was large enough, but I think it was a little too small. And so the chick had, hey, don't bite his little toes. That's not nice down there. But yeah, so this is a reason why you want to be careful and not set pullet eggs too early, is because sometimes the babies will get cramped in there or just have developmental issues as the mamas are sort of figuring out the reproductive system. But it's still a sweetheart. Stop eating its feet. That's not nice. There's a little baby down here that's trying to eat its... No, it's not. They're not treats. They're not worms. All right, but I don't know. I just, because this one I didn't think was... Oh, okay, sweetheart. Okay. Because I didn't think that one was going to make it. It's sort of my underdog runt story, and I probably will keep it as a male, even though it is probably a male, just because, I'm impressed by his grit and his ability to stick in there when I didn't think he was going to make it. Hey, baby. What do you think? Breed guesses? Breed guesses. Sex guesses. Stop eating the toes. Your food is right here. Eat your food. Eat the food, not the toes. Okay. The breed is a silver Barnevelder chick. The sex is... I don't know. Okay. So in some Barnevelders, it's based on what's called a dark brown / EB gene on the E locus. In some lines of Barnevelders, the males have a whiter chest and the girls have a duskier chest. That does not hold true in my line of Barnevelders that I have. However, with that, and the smaller comb and the sort of the thinner legs, I'm going to go with female. Which either is fine for me at this point, because I do need another male, a nice male, because I don't have my backup predator problems. So many predator problems last year. Hopefully that's fixed for this year though. So, but I'm going to go with female. Okay, come here, baby. This is part of my fibro Easter egger project. This is the second generation, so I'm going to get all sorts of crazy things out. The second generations are always the most fun, because this is when all the recessives come together, and you can get all sorts of crazy things. However, and I actually breed because probably wouldn't get it right off the bat. It's a mix-up. What do you think this is? Female, male? Stop it! Stop eating the baby down there, little chick. You stop. Okay. Silly. So this one, I am fairly certain is a female. It has got an E plus chick down, the chipmunk stripes, the eyeliner, the little triangle on its head is E plus. That means that females will get a typically colored female will get a it's ground color, wild type. The ground color will be sort of like a mottled, stippled actually, a stippling. Sorry, that's how you pronounce it. That's what I can talk today. A coloring that's kind of boring, but when females sit on their nest, you want them to blend in. And the E plus also has a what do you call it? E plus has a salmon colored breast. Now on this one, with its other genes at play, I'm not sure if it's going to develop that. This might even be it might be E plus EB, which I won't go into, but anyway. But anyway, my whole point was that with this more boring coloration, I'm pretty sure this is a female. Okay, babies. Alright, here's another black copper Marans. Can you guess? Can you guess? Let's see, the leg shot, head shot. What do you think? I'm gonna go with female. The legs are kind of a little bit thicker, but like I said, Marans tend to be thicker. It's also shorter in general. Alright, compared to this one here, I don't know if you can see very well. This is a mix, and I think it's an olive egger actually. I have to look at my records. Usually my olive eggers have green bands, but I may not have known exactly what hatched out of this. Because of that mixed heritage, you can't always count on things like comb traits, and body shapes can be a little bit different. I do think this is a male partially. The comb is sort of large. It's not as big as the others, but again, subordinate males together usually have like one or two lead males that develop more quickly, larger combs, redder combs, and the subordinates don't develop as quickly, so they can be a little more tricky to guess, which I talked about in the first video that I did. But I think this is a male. This was the one that was trying to eat the other one's toes. Again, the sort of out there, curious, aggressive, not aggressive in that case, but you know, just more, the brave personality is more male. Plus you have very big feet. Okay. I'm going to skip you because you're a mix, and anyway, we're going to hurry through the end of this anyway. Let's see, just grab a couple to, here, do this really fast. Another mix though, but sort of an interesting case. What do you think? Let's see if you can tell this one. I think, not interesting, but the mix is interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the mix is, but I think the sex is rather obvious on this one. Can you tell? Can you tell? Alright, I do think this is a male. Big, fat, long legs. Well, they're not that fat, but compared to, not fat compared to the Marans, but Marans have thick legs in general, especially my birds are big. But these are very long and kind of gangly, plus the comb is sort of thick. Again, I've seen thick ones on females, so this is no 100% guarantee, but just based on, and you can see here that it does have some of that, the stippling that I was talking about, so it might lead you to think that it was female, but in a lot of the beginning feathers, like for chicks, even of the males, will have that sort of boring, if you will, sort of camouflage type coloring until it grows out, just to help them survive, to get old enough to develop the flashier male coloring. So we'll see what happens with that one. Okay, baby. I'll just hurry through this one. This is another one of my Easter egger projects. This one looks like it's going to have a little beard. I'm not sure on this one, honestly. Male or female? I don't know. Maybe, These I know, again, from mine, the comb is, you can't even use the comb to judge on my fiber Easter eggers, because I've had some with virtually no comb whatsoever. I mean, like, the comb's so skinny, non-existent almost, and they still turned out to be males. So this one, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I had to go with a guess, I'd say female, just based on that short leg. But I could see it being a male too. Hi, babies. Oh, come here. Really fast. I don't know what the heck mix this is. Some sort of Easter egger. Oh, maybe your mama was one of the leg bars, and you can see the little crust. Can you see the little crust on there starting to develop? So I think your mama was a leg bar. One of my free-range Easter egger leg bars that run around with them. But your daddy was definitely not the Americana male. So I did have a couple males escape their pens and have a field night with the ladies. So I have some mixed parentage Easter eggers, which, I mean, they're all mixed, but usually I know they all come from my Lavender Americana male. But this one's going to lay a blue egg regardless, because its mama was a cream leg bar. Oops, sorry. Yes, you're a sweetheart. Oh, well, that's kind of a clue. You can see that it has, well, it was definitely a pea-comb breed, but probably not an Americana. So, oh, duh, okay. That's a huge clue right there. Right there. Its daddy was, I have a little, I wouldn't even call it silky at this point. It's a cross. It's a silky cross. It's a satin silky cross with a naked neck gene. But that is definitely who your daddy was, and looks like you made it with a cream leg bar to make this. So yeah, that is definitely, that's who's your daddy. Maury has answered. Oh, come here, babies. Now, with these over here, I almost think they're all females, just with how quiet they're being. Although there are some that are younger. I don't know, this one might be no, this one might be a male. Sorry, I ruined it already. This one might be a male. It does have thicker legs. I think it might just be younger. Let's see. The legs are pretty thick for what I would expect off of this. Oh, this is an olive egger. Oh, you need a new band. I need to switch that out too. That's getting a little tight. Pea-comb from the mama side. Well, pea-combs are tricky. I don't know. We'll see on this one. This was one that we'll need more time on. Again, if my feet were held to fire, I'd go with male. This little Spitzhauben mix. Interesting. With a single comb, so that helps me narrow it down. No, actually, who do I have in there? Okay, so your mama could be a Barnevelder. I do have a silver Barnevelder in there. What else do I have in there with you? Oh yeah, this is a cute one. Not sure. I just put them in there because I had some leftover birds, and I thought, oh, I'll just put them in there and get an interesting mix. And also because the Barnevelder was laying sort of a purplish pink egg, and so I was kind of hoping to capitalize on that trait. But yeah, boy or girl? Again, too early. I don't know. Look at that comb there. I'm gonna go with female. Like I said, those might all be females, just with the way they're acting. I'm not sure what you are. I didn't mark you. Some sort of, or I may have marked you as, because my memory is terrible, I may have said, okay, I won't put a band on this one, and wrote down, if it's a black chick and has a pea-comb with no band, it's this. I just don't remember what, it may be an Easter egger, it may be an olive egg. Probably an Easter egger is probably what it is. Boy or girl? Actually, I thought those were all females, but based on this comb, I don't know. Maybe male. Maybe male. Those are kind of chubby little legs there. How are you standing? Let's see. Yeah, look at that stance. That's a male. I haven't been using that clue right now, just because. But that does kind of, as chicks you can't really tell as much, but that does sort of have a malish stand. All right, let's hurry. I don't think I'll do you either. Little, it's a I think it's a black leghorn. I mean, just really quick, it's male or female. Probably female, but I'm not gonna get into. Oh, I've been talking for 24 minutes. That's why. Oh, another, oh, do you know what it is? Well, okay, if you hadn't seen the band. Black Copper Marans, female. This last one over here, you see it? Oh, hello, hello, baby. The stance is sort of, oh, that's a very male stance. If you can see it right there. Can I zoom? Oh, I can. No, not really. It's I'm attached to this little stand here, so I can't really move it that well. But oh, that's a very male stand. It might just be a younger. I mean, its legs aren't that thick yet. Its comb, well, it is sort of a large comb. It's not. It could go either way, honestly, but just with the size of the legs. Oh, it's 3:30. Thank you, son. My son just held up a card. It says 3:30. I need to go pick up my daughter. But that's good because this is the last one. So, yeah. I think. Oh, what was I saying? I think this one's a little bit early to tell, especially if it's younger with a bunch of older males that may be dominant. I feel like male, but I'd be happy if it were female. Okay, that's all. And any comment or questions, you can comment below. Thanks.